Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. I'm Roxanne. Probably going to bring Sly in tonight, get a little bit of channeling. Just wanted to say welcome to all who are going to join us tonight. I see a couple people in the room. Thank you so much for joining. Don't be shy to say hi in the chat. I was muted, wasn't I? I just realized that. Let me start over again. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Evening with Roxanne. I'm Roxanne. I'm going to have a little talk tonight with you guys, maybe do a little channeling from Sylvester, talk about some ideas. Go ahead and say hello in the chat. If you like to let me know you're here, chat's open. And of course, if you end up liking the video, give us a thumbs up if you choose. And I think that's about it. So we'll get it going. Let me check my sound. Sounds good. So the journey for me has been quite extraordinary. The change in my personality has been quite extraordinary. I had a lot of value in particular ways to interpret reality. And those values, those truths of how I interpreted the world, my perspective, the way I saw things, okay? And you got to really look hard in yourself on how you interpret. Was giving me a certain quality of life. And then when I started to recognize and change those truths, I started noticing my personality changing. And it's a more nature idea. One of my classes is persona development. And I've really noticed it in the past month on a lot of the ways my behavior, my thought processes are completely different. I still have likings to old parts of me, old energetic parts of me. The way you interpret something that you can see differently now without being talked into it, without being convinced. It's as if you would never see it any other way. And this is really extraordinary. Hello, Kata from Uruguay. Thank you, darling. Thanks for coming in. This is really extraordinary to be witness to it. As hard as I worked at it, it's very difficult to transcend your truths and to make those behavioral changes. Nothing changes in your world. The law is going to demand attraction. That's what it does. And again, as you probably know on this channel, you don't attract positive and negative energies. You attract your truth in vibration, which is severely misinterpreted by the human mind as your vibration is either positive or negative. Welcome, JP. It is Sunday, isn't it? Yeah. Your vibration is your authenticity, what you find truth. Full, you're going to attract that reflection to either validate or protune yourself to a change of that truth and allow yourself a different experience in life. And I've, been devoutly working on my belief systems through an enormous amount of humility, an incredible amount of trust in the unknown to change me, because I was the only one living with me. And it's not that I didn't like me, I just didn't like who I was. I didn't like the way I would automatically react today. I didn't like how I would see the reality. Hello, Malcolm. From Argentina, welcome. And or is it Masa? What's really cool about this is I've been dating my boyfriend, Tommy, for 7 years. We've been together. And I fall more in love with him because I see him in different ways. I start to understand him at a different interpretation of him and understand the beauty of how he thinks and how he is himself. What's incredible about him, as a lot of you know, he's he's autistic, and when I mean autistic, I don't mean I mean autistic. You know, uh, Social Security autistic because he can't hold a job and can't cook and clean for himself, and it's very difficult for him to do things. But he's cognitive enough to have conversations and walk around and stuff like that, and have a life and have interest and stuff. High functioning autistic. But um, the way I used to see him 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 months ago. I mean, think about the thrill of that. Don't be afraid to not be who you think you are. Start to find who you are nature-wise. We all have a creator that is a persona, a natural self. And that natural self is so beautiful with you. See, we as humans seek an happiness, avoid a badness. We look for happy entertainment, emotional positivity. It's addictive because we believe that's reality is based on emotions of good and bad, and that's our experience here on earth. But those are what we create. We create these relationships through what? Well, hang on, let me skip this ad. Through what we have found truthful upon arriving on the planet. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much, Tom. Welcome. So it is really fantastic to change. We're afraid of the unknown. We're afraid of losing who we are. We depend on our cycles of manifested personalities that give us a certain comfort of identity. And look what happens when our identity gets challenged. The whole world is up in arms because they're offended because someone breathes. They're offended because someone is walking down the road and they're not walking fast enough. Their identity is getting hurt because of their lack of self. So forget about what the world's doing for a while and look at what you're doing. I promise you, I'm really fucking good at this. And what I know, not believe, fuck belief. Belief is riddled with doubt. What I know is that we're all gods. And I know we have access to that persona. We have the ability to recognize our own truths that we create for an experience called human separation. And we value those things as identified. And we're scared shitless without them. We can change, though. The world has to change, not by force. You can't force peace. We've been trying to force peace since we got to the planet. And everyone's peace is different. Stop seeking peace and happiness and serenity. Seek yourself. The unconditional love. Your world cannot show anything but the resonance of that truth. Right now, we're riddled with separation as you come into the world. We covet this is right and this is wrong according to our tiny little pie-shaped corner of the earth that we start out at, and then we come up with the concept of what is life. And we look at others that don't agree with us. And some are egregious and some are envious, and we want to experience what we value. We want to avoid what is wrong. And that's a life. That doesn't get you to God. That creates and continues the separation. Right? I'm going to have Sly talk about something in a minute that really helped me get to this point. Obviously, I when I wrote the curriculum for the classes, that's the work that I did, that I took notes along the way to make it understandable for humanity on what I've discovered, how it works, okay? And it took me years, solid years of work, 5, 6 years of really understanding me. And there's a very valuable thing, and I want to have Sly talk about it. But I want you to know that change is exceptional. Don't be afraid to be the unknown. And it's a pressure to become something all the time on this planet. You have to leave that thought process and realize you're all that is. If that's too much to grasp, you are something. You're a point of awareness. You're an experiencer of reality. Your truth is your own. That your existence is awareness. It's here. That's enough for you to understand. You don't have to become something. What are you looking for? Seek inside of you what you're looking for. When you want to achieve. Is it the goals? What's it going to do? Self-fulfillment. I get that. Happiness, success, peer validation, acclimates, acclimates, right? I don't know what the word is. Anyways, but what happens when you get there? What happens when you find those things? The emptiness looms very quickly right after you've done that. And then you do it again, and that's not wrong. Okay, again, it's not wrong, masters. It's human. Yeah. Let's get Sly here. Let him take over. Okay? I appreciate you all. You guys are in the room. Thank you so much for joining in. Hang on, Sly. Ready? Okay. Let me bring Sly in here. He's going to talk about it. He's probably talking about it. Go ahead. What Roxanne is referring to, and something that she really recognized about herself, is the value that humanity has in externalism. Okay, so let's understand what externalism is. If I can have a volunteer, okay, I can have any. Hello, Renee. Let me see the other glasses, Rox. What's that? Renee, welcome. Welcome. Thank you. So I need a volunteer. Okay. I want anybody just type one thing in the chat that they find valuable about the world. Now, the valuable here is not polarized. I'm not looking for a positive or a negative. Something that you realize is outside of you that you find great value in. Politics, laws, the Olympics. Name something. Doesn't matter. Take your time. Now, I'll get to it. Carla, my dog. Oh, the air. Okay. The air, cats. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Renee, you don't need to find value in the air because the air is not going to go away. And I'm going to teach you, and if you can, Danielle, experience. Well, experience is always everything. You don't have to externalize that, kid. That's inside. Welcome to you. Anyways. Good to see you. So let's look at dogs or cats. Okay. You have an emotional attachment with an item. Okay. You have an emotional attachment with an item. A dog, a cat. Oh, I'm going to dragon. Okay. A dragon. Right? So it's a dog, it's a cat, it's an externalism. And you have a relationship with it. That relationship is valuable. When I mean valuable, it means it has high emotional content. It's got a conviction of emotional attachments. Now, dogs and cats are what we call you have fractals, and then you have figments, which are just slices of a collective God, right? My music, my studio equipment from Arturo. Okay, so all of you look at that external relationship with something that is emotional value, and you're so identified with it that you behave according to your relationship with that external object, emotionally make decisions upon that external object. The decisions you make are not right or wrong, masters. Remember, there is no right and wrong in this class. There is only truth that you choose. The idea here is to recognize there is an ever-evolving relationship with your reality. Okay? An ever-evolving relationship. But if you don't recognize the earth-bound relationship through separation of what we call externalism and addiction and a dependency because it gives you identity, okay, cat lady, right? Right, cat lady, dog lady, that relationship. I have to have my iPhone, lady? No, you don't. You were born without an iPhone. So it's not right or wrong to have an iPhone. Doesn't matter. The point is what is the relationship? That's just for recognition. You want to understand how you can change your world. It's not changing laws. It's not getting people to do what you believe. It's not forcing them. It's not cutting them off because they don't want to jump on your bandwagon. It's not disdaining them because they're not abiding by your dietary supplement specials. Time to get deep with Sly. Thank you so much, JP. $5 super chat from JP. Thank you so much, hon. Rox gives you a shout out. So let's listen. Let's understand this, okay? A dependency is an emotional relationship that lies truth, and it also is, by nature, everyone pay the fuck attention, vibration. Leading back to law. What you put out is what you get back. All of you have learned somewhere on your awakening, if you put out positive energy, you're supposed to get back positive interpretations. But why doesn't it happen consistently? Why are you still afraid? Why do you still have anxiety? Why do you still have needs? Why do you still have desires? Why is something bad happening to you when you're doing all this positive work? Why? Well, because it doesn't work that way. Because the universe doesn't speak English, doesn't speak hope, doesn't speak positive, it doesn't speak negative. That's all, Master. All of that I just named lies within the kingdom of interpretation. Your mind is your experience that you interpret truth, your mind sees reality, and who's the one that feels that? Who's the one that feels it? You. You're the one that feels your truth. If your truth, now listen close. If your truths give you pain, then that is your truth, the ability to interpret reality, which by nature is unconditional. The ability to choose that interpretation as painful. That's what they mean. You choose your reality. Now, you don't make this conscious choice up in this little crybaby that lives in your head, this little wow out there. You're like, I didn't choose that. I didn't want that. Why is it my reality? We know. Okay, grow up. It's the truths of interpretation, what you covet as a truth. You got to the planet. You have relationships of emptiness. When you're born, you feel a need, a desire to fill, because there is nothing valuable that they say you are. They claim outside, you are this, you are that, and you have no value in that in here because it's not you. That's what they claim. You're A, you're B, you're good, you're bad, you're this, you're that. but there's no value. So you create an externalism to value that. If I be this, then I will get that. If I do this, I will get that. And the entire system is built that way. As soon as you hit your awareness around H3, H4, you start filling that emptiness with identity. And it comes from the outside. So therefore, your addiction, masters, is the external idea. Your dogs, your cats, your identities that keep you valuable. It's not wrong to love dogs and not wrong to love cats. It's the relationship you have. You cannot let that relationship mature if you continue to demand the relationship be that identity. You, masters, have to look at yourselves and the truth of things and realize loss of these things are not going to, you're not going to lose them. Your perception is loss. If I change this, it's not loss, it's growth, it's maturity. It's change into deeper parts of yourself, the unknown parts of yourself. So an externalism can be with an object that you have. People are obsessed with people, negative ones, and what you would consider negative. You have a negative, very unhealthy relationship with your parents, maybe one of your parents or your sister or your brother. But you keep repeating it, you keep going back. You have an ex-spouse or something, and you keep the value of that dependency because you have to be masterful enough, and it's going to take a big helping, yummy, of humility to recognize it. You have to be humble and see, I want this because I'm getting something. And that's what you have to see. What are you getting? 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 You're getting identity. Remember, emptiness. You come here, you're a quadzillion, gazillion years old, times infinity. And then you come here, and in this perspective, you have this gestalt. You have a billion selves going on at the same time. So you take the gestalt of you, and in one fractal, you pinch it down into this tiny little earth, and you pop up into human, and the human doesn't know itself. And the only thing you feel is fucking terror. Immediate emptiness. There's no I am. Gone. Puff. Right? So that missing is an obsession for the human to fill with external identities, memberships of ideas, the way you behave, what you need to do. When you lose your dependencies, you have room to allow a portion of your persona, your interactive self with your own reality, to now take precedence. It has room to come in, and that room can start interacting in its own truth, its own nature, with reality. And now the feedback, the return of what you put out and what you get back is the change that comes. That change is representation that's more in line with the nature of you, to where you don't need to struggle to achieve anymore. Because the appetite for achievement, the appetite to become, the appetite to seek and pursue happiness is extinguished from reality, because you are whole again. And your wholeness is one state of being, the state of being of unconditional love. A love that doesn't rely on emotion for a fulfillment. It lies beyond emotion. It is the most exquisite way to feel. I've had thousands of human fractals. So I know. I get it. I understand it. But I don't feel it. I only feel love. A love that is way beyond what you can consider your human love. You would have to fall so in love with you to understand that. You can't fall in love with another. You can only have a dependency. A true love But it's brought in birth through a dependency of relationship. It's an external. You can fall deeper in love with anyone as long as you take the route of discovering and loving yourself. You must become the person you want to fall in love with. And that self will manifest in reflection to where you become harmonious and there's no separation between you two. Then you realize there's no separation between you and the reality. You don't define it as this or that, me and them, you and me. That's gone. Your work lies in recognition, in the ability to transcend with change. And change is choice. This is the choice on how you create your world. If you see yourself and you claim this, why does this keep happening to me? Or I always seem to attract these people. No. It's not that you're attracting the negative, you're attracting your truth. It's the way you have a perception of yourself. That's the value in yourself. That is showing in action that is not resonant with you. If it sustains, then you are allowing it because you're afraid or won't change. You have to make different choices. Different choices lead to different realities. Do the work of that mastery to recognize and understand your dependencies, your obsessions with stuff. And you don't have to be obsessive. You just have to remember these things that you are interacting with. Observe the behavior and see if there is a more mature relationship you can have with these things. Because what happens when you allow something to grow and flourish? It can show you more of itself. But if you are hovering and doting and in the vibration of I need to take care, or if I'm not here, then this will happen to them, they have no chance to grow because you're stifled. Everyone has seen that. All you got to do is watch Bates Hotel, and Bates Motel, and you know about a mother that's fucking insane about the kid. So you understand that. So you can't be that and expect your reality to flourish and offer you. You don't have to be jealous of the world around you. You don't have to be envious. You have to find yourself inside of your own kingdom, right here. And then you realize there is no need for envy, jealousy, any of that externalism. You don't need those things because there's no emptiness once you fill this emptiness here. That's the separation. Make sense? So, as always, we come here to offer you how you can relate to reality completely different through recognition, transcendence, discernment of vibration, knowing yourself, being humble when you recognize a part of yourself, allowing yourself to be embarrassed about the shit that you find about yourself that you will not like. But that's not wrong, masters. That's the human experience in its fullness. That's the greatness. You all have good and bad thoughts. You don't act on all of them. Sometimes you can do a good thing and throw away your trash would be considered. But you don't have a truth about that. And you might be embarrassed that you just throw your shit on the ground and not give a fuck. But see, that's unjudged. Hello, Eric. That's unjudged. The people might judge you. Your monkey might judge you. But you, as a collective, one and all, are unconditional. No one else is judging. There's no judgment on what you do. You have bad thoughts, perverted thoughts, thoughts that are illegal. You might act on, maybe you have acted on them. You've done illegal stuff. You feel guilty about those things. You've done something that makes you feel bad. You've done it and you like it, and you're embarrassed that you like it. These are things that you have to investigate within yourself to recognize. Look at it from an observer. It might take you a while to develop your observer self, to get to a point of neutrality that your emotions don't pull you out and go down that rabbit hole of emotional possibilities, and where 10 minutes later you forgot everything and you're all afraid, or you're all in this reality and you're thinking about not now. You're thinking about everything that's not now. I am not running these ads, folks. Keep skipping. Thanks, folks. Okay. So that discernment of vibration is you're going to feel the quality of memory that is in the idea of separation. It has a polarized value to it. You're also going to be able to start to discern. Once you get the observer well in place, you're going to allow a different part of you to come in. It has a distinct vibration. It is a different world compared to polarity. It is slipstream. It is vast and open and loving and caressing and full of grace. But it's not this mythical idea of floating on these waves of fairy dust through these fields. It's not that kind of thing. It's serenity. It's truth. It's I am. It's certainty. It's no doubt. It's I am. It's beautiful. So find that. So do the work and recognize your externalisms. Recognize these things about you. Because you're the only one who feels the truth of you. And your truths, your behaviors get you into, quote, situations. So if you don't like your life, you don't like your job, you don't like your spouse, you don't like your money, your way of earning, you let your past define your future. And all that is, that's your structure. That's your externalism. Now you can recognize, you can change. But it's a master class. And if any of you out there that have taken the higher education and working your way to earn your master's, your PhD, or things like that, you know it's a lot of fucking work. Well, this is a million times more than that. This is Ascension mastery. This is deconstructing of a personality that you relied on your entire life until you wake up and recognize there is something in me that doesn't belong there. And it's my not God self. Right? So you can do something about it if you choose. All right, masters. I'm going back to Elderon 5. We're having a celebration. One of my favorites. Did you agree? See if so weird. Sly's getting different when I bring him in. Oh, look at that. Everyone. Eric Erickson. Look at that, guys. $49.99 super chat. Everyone get out of your wallet and open up. Let's all celebrate their first super chat on live stream. Thank you so much, Eric. So I would like to offer, it's a month away. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, hi, Amy. Next month is my new set of classes that are coming up, and I'll probably put another video out on that. But let's all remember that the classes run, they stack on top of each other. You start here at recognition, and you go to the next month of classes, and the next month, and the next month. It takes a total of 4 months. 4 months, it's $150 a month. Class of recognition starts next month. It should be on the website. We have plenty of room. It's a Zoom room. It's not like Act Now. There's only a few seats left. I can get 500 people into my Zoom room. So we have plenty of space. So please consider that if you're interested in changing your life. And I am bearing witness to the possibility of a life of absolute perfect harmony in all the versions of reality around you are a perfect match to you each and every day. I get it. Okay? All right, guys. Thank you all for your support. Eric, again, thank you so much. JP, thank you much for the super chat. Everyone out there, I love you. If you need to get a hold of me, 10-4, good buddy. See you on the flip side. Booyah. If you need to get a hold of me, check me out at odysseyofascension.com. It's there in the link. And as Eric and JP have donated, don't be shy to donate. If you feel like donating, there's a donate button down there from that PayPal. We'll see you all next week. Big love to you. Take care, everyone. Good night, Masters. Good night, everyone. Thanks again. Bye. Mwah. I love kissing.